Hello friends, myself Archana Mughal from KTHM College, Nasik, Department of Computer Science. Today, in this session, today we are going to see some topic from chapter number 3 in module 3. The chapter name is Security for VPN and Next Generation Technologies, and the topic name which we are going to see today, that is various computing platforms, that means HPC, cluster and computing grids. Today we are going to learn some points, that is what is HPC, high performance computing and its working, then cluster, its components, then classification of clusters, and what is the grid computing. Today we are learn about various computing platforms. First, what is the computing? A computing platform or a digital platform is the environment in which a piece of a software is executed. It may be the hardware or the operating system. Even a web browser and associated application programming interfaces or other underlying software, as long as the program code is executed with it. Computing platforms have different abstraction levels, including a computer architecture, an operating system, or runtime libraries. A computing platform is the stage on which computer programs can run. The next point is, what is HPC? First computing platform is a HPC. What is HPC? HPC stands for High Performance Computing. HPC is high performance computing. HPC is the ability to process data and perform complex calculations at high speeds. To put it into perspective, a laptop or a desktop with a 3 GHz processor can perform around 3 billion calculations per second, while that is much faster than any human can achieve. It pales in comparison to HPC solutions that can perform quadrillions of calculations per second. One of the best known types of HPC solution is the supercomputer. A supercomputer contains thousands of compute nodes that work together to complete one or more tasks. This is called parallel processing, and it's similar to having thousands of PCs networked together, combining compute power to complete tasks faster. Then how does HPC works? HPC solutions have three main components: compute, network and then storage. To build a high performance computing architecture, compute servers are networked together into a cluster. Software, programs and algorithms are run simultaneously on the servers in the cluster. The cluster is a network to the data storage to capture the output. Together, these components operate seamlessly to complete a diverse set of tasks. To operate at maximum performance, each component must keep pace with the others. For example, the storage component must be able to feed and ingest data to and from the compute servers as quickly as it is processed. Likewise, the networking components must be able to support the high-speed transportation of data between compute servers and the data storage. If one component cannot keep up with the rest, the performance of the entire HPC infrastructure suffers. HPC solutions are used for a variety of purposes across multiple industries. Examples like research lab. HPC is used to help scientists find sources of renewable energy, understand the evolution of our universe, predict and track the storms, and create new materials. Second example is media and entertainment. HPC is used to edit feature films, render mind-blowing special effects, and stream live events around the world. Then third example is oil and gas. HPC is used to more accurately identify where to drill for new wells and to help boost production from existing wells. Then artificial intelligence and machine learning. HPC is used to detect credit card fraud, provide self-guided technical support, teach self-driving vehicles and improve cancer screening techniques. Also, HPC is used to track real-time stock trends and automate trading also. HPC is used to design new products, simulate test scenarios and make sure that parts are kept in stock so that production lines aren't held up. The next computing platform is a cluster. What is a cluster? A computer cluster is a group of linked computers working together closely, thus in many respects forming a single computer. A cluster is a group of servers that can logically expose themselves as a highly available and capable super server. And you need clusters because the success of your business is rooted in your ability to provide your customers the products and the services they need when they need them. Cluster computing comprises a set of independent or standalone computers and a network interconnecting them. It works cooperatively together as a single integrated computing resource. A cluster is a local in that all of its component subsystems are supervised within a single administrative domain, usually residing in a single room and managed as a single computer system. The components of a clusters are connected to each other throughout fast local area networks to handle heavy workload with large datasets. Clustered computer systems have demonstrated impressive results in the past. There are so many components of the clusters computing as follows. First, high performance computers like PC, workstation, etc. Then microkernel based operating system. Then high speed networks or switches like gigabit ethernets. Then NICs, network interface cards. Then fast communication protocols and services. Then cluster middleware, which is the hardware, operating system kernels, applications and subsystems. Then parallel programming environment tools like compilers, parallel virtual machines, etc. Then another example, another component of cluster computing is a sequential and parallel application. The cluster middleware is very much capable for offering an exclusive and unified system image. This is the cluster computing classification. Cluster computing classified into three categories. First one is high availability clusters, second one is load balancing clusters, and third one is high performance computing clusters. We already we already learned what is the high performance computing cluster. Now we will see high availability clusters and load balancing clusters. Load balancing clusters again classified into two categories, software based and hardware based. Then first type of cluster computing is high availability clusters. High availability clusters are groups of hosts, that means physical machines, that act as a single system and provide continuous availability. High availability clusters are used for mission critical applications like databases, e-commerce websites, and transaction processing systems. High availability clusters or system describes the systems that are dependable enough to operate continuously without failing. They are well tested and sometimes equipped with redundant components. Availability includes two periods of a times: how much time a service is accessible and how much time the system needs to respond to a user request. High availability refers to those systems that offer a high level of operational performance and quality over a relevant time period. When it comes to measuring the availability, several factors are silent. These include recovery time and both scheduled and unscheduled maintenance periods. Typically, availability as a whole is expressed as a percentage of uptime defined by service level agreements. A score of 100% characterizes a system that never fails. High availability clusters are computers that support critical applications. Specifically, these clusters reliably work together to minimize system downtime. In terms of failover cluster as versus high availability preferences, a failover cluster, which is a redundant system triggered when the main system encounters performance issues, is really just a strategy to achieve high availability. Why high availability clusters are important? First, high availability clusters are also called as failover clusters. These are the groups of computers that support server applications. These can be reliably utilized with a minimum of a downtime. They operate by harnessing redundant computers in a groups or clusters that provide continued service when system components fail. Without clustering, if a server running a particular application crashes, the application will be unavailable until the crashed server is fixed. Such type of hardware or a software faults and immediately restarting the application or on another system without requiring administrator intervention, and a process known as a failover. As a part of this process, clustering software may configure the node before starting the application on it. Then, how high availability clusters works? To achieve the high availability, first identify and eliminate single points of a failure in the operating system's infrastructure. Any point that would trigger a mission critical service interruption if it was unavailable qualifies here. There may be a singular components in your infrastructure that are not single points of failure. Then load balancing clusters. Load balancing refers to efficiently distributing incoming network traffic across a group of backend servers, and it also known as server farm or a server pool. Modern high traffic websites must serve hundreds of thousands if not millions of concurrent requests from users or clients and return the correct text, images, videos or application data all in fast and reliable manner. To cost effectively scale to meet these high volumes, modern computing best practice generally requires adding more servers. A load balancer acts as a traffic cop sitting in front of your server and routing client requests across all servers capable of fulfilling those requests in a manner that maximizes speed and capacity utilization and ensures that no one server is overworked, which could degrade performance. If a single server goes down, the load balancer redirects traffic to remaining online servers. When a new server is added to the server group, the load balancer automatically starts to send requests to it. In computing, Load balancing refers to the process of distributing a set of a task over a set of resources with the aim of making their overall processing more efficient. Load balancing techniques can optimize the response time for each task, avoiding uneventfully overloading compute nodes while other compute nodes are left idle. Load balancing is the subject of a research in the field of parallel computers. Two main approaches exist, static algorithm and dynamic algorithm. Then load balancing clusters performs the following functions: distributes client request or a network load efficiently across multiple servers, then ensures high availability and reliability by sending the request only to servers that are online, then provides the flexibility to add or subtract the server as demand dictates. The next computing platform is the grid computing. Grid computing is a group of network computers which work together as a virtual supercomputer to perform large tasks such as analyzing huge set of data or weather modeling. Through the cloud, you can assemble and use vast computer grids for specific time periods and purposes, paying if necessary only for what you use to save both the time and expense of purchasing and deploying the necessary resources yourself. Also, by splitting tasks over multiple machines, processing time is significantly reduced to increase the efficiency and minimize wasted resources. Unlike with parallel computing, grid computing projects typically have no time dependency associated with them. They use computers which are part of the grid only when idle, and operators can perform tasks unrelated to the grid at any time. Security must be considered when using computer grids, as controls on member nodes are usually very loose. Redundancy should also be built in, as many computers may disconnect or fail during processing. Grid computing is distributed computing model. Grid computing technology integrates servers, storage systems and networks distributed within the network to form an integrated system and provide users with powerful computing and storage capacity. A grid computing working. Grid computing network mainly consists of these three types of machines: control node, provider and user. Control node, a computer, usually a server or a group of a server, which administrates the whole network and keeps the account of the resources in the network pool. Then provider, the computer, which contributes its resources in the network resource pool. And the user, the computer that uses the resources on the network when a computer makes a request for resources to the control node. Control node gives the users access to the resources available on the network. When it is not in use, it should ideally contribute its resources to the network. Hence, a normal computer on the node can swing in between being a user or a provider based on its needs. The nodes may consist of machines with the similar platforms using same operating system, called heterogeneous. Called homogeneous networks, as machines with different platform running on various different operating systems called heterogeneous networks. This is the distinguishing part of the grid computing from other distributed computing architectures. Then, advantages of grid computing. First advantage is that it is not a centralized, as there are no servers required except the control node, which is just used for controlling and not for processing. Multiple heterogeneous machines, that is machines with different operating system, can use a single grid computing network, and tasks can be performed parallelly across various physical locations, and the users don't have to pay for it, means with it money. In this today session, we seen various computing platform like HPC, cluster. Then cluster is again classified into three types: high availability clusters, load balancing cluster, high performance clusters. Then what is cluster? Its components, its working. What is grid computing? Its advantages, etc. Thank you.